my brother messaged me, said, hey man, the A7C's out. And I said, okay. The first thing I asked him was, does it have 4K 60p? And he said, F no. I said, F no. Well, the one good thing that comes out of this announcement is that I know I'm gonna save $1,800. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's That One Camera Guy, back at again with another video for you today. We're taking a look at the official specs and pricing of this camera. I'm gonna give you my unfiltered thoughts. I don't got the Sony logo on my head today. I don't really care. I will tell you what I completely think of this camera. Obviously, they didn't send me a copy anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and rent it out like everybody else. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just gonna tell you that outright. So, I don't know. Let me know down below if you just want to chime in and say, well, I just saved $1,800 US. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into this and take a look at what the heck is going on. So here's the camera. We've seen images already. I think the only new thing is the door. So I thought this was very special was this. The thing that Sony did was they moved the mic, they had the mic port up top so it doesn't block the actual rotating screen, the articulating screen. They have the UHS 2 card slot on the left-hand side, and then they got two ports, the HDMI, the charging port for USB-C, and also the headphone port, which I think is great. I think I like the route they went with that, and then that way you don't have to go through the bottom side to get the card out. It was never really a big deal with like the A6600, for example, but I mean, it's just one little extra thing that makes your life just a little easier, I would say. Sure, I'll take it. Now, I wanted to get your opinion on this and your vibe. If price wasn't an issue and specs weren't an issue, which colorway would you pick out of these two cameras? Because I really like the form factor. I really like the look of the camera. I'm just curious for you, which one you would pick. I said I would go with the silver one if it was my choice. I really dig that look to it. I like the look overall. And again, I want to stress that I'm not knocking necessarily what Canon. So what Sony's trying to do. I like the compact, full frame, interchangeable aspect of this camera. I'm all down for that. But the problem is, there's just a few things that they just kind of missed. Alright, some other things other YouTubers and other folks mentioned is that it had the older menu system. Older menu system. And this is why, some theories is why this camera probably was supposed to come out earlier, like in 2019 and not in 2020. So I really do wonder if this camera was supposed to come out during that time and it got delayed. It's really strange. We've already seen what the new menu system looks like, and why would you bring this camera out with the old one and not integrate the new menu system? Is that really strange to you that a major corporation would do that? That we wouldn't notice that it's missing the newer menu system, especially if you're trying to pony this off as a new camera for people to purchase? It's really disheartening. Why would you do that? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And you're trying to get people to purchase this camera. That's ridiculous. All right. The front dial's missing, people were mentioning. Obviously, it's similar to the A6600. Tony and Chelsea noticed the stabilization wasn't that great in video. I don't know how that's going to look out with everybody else. Obviously, there could be issues with like the grip, but the grip on this one's been pretty fine, so I'm not too worried. No thumbstick, people mentioned. No dual card slots. Again, little issues that I haven't had an issue with the APS-C body, so that's not really a big deal. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty here of what I think too. Again, I want to point out that I'm also happy that they still put in that EVF. This camera is your first gen Sony a7C. That's what it is. I'm not gonna get it, right? I may consider the a7C Mark II. That's the problem with Sony right now. I really hate where they're going with this. Don't give them a pass. Don't give them a pass. I remember the times when Sony was releasing their cameras. I was always so excited. There was just this level of excitement like the a7 III launch, a7R3. You know, you're getting excited. You're like, oh my gosh, we got all these great features and all these specifications, and you're just like hammering the opponent. This is also a really great camera, I would say. If you released it maybe in 2019, some people will probably say 2018, I think it would have been a really great option to come out alongside the Sony a7 Mark III. But we're not at that time anymore. We're in 2020, we're moving forward, and you just miss some features on this camera. And again, what I was saying too was that I was always excited for what Sony was going to release in some of their full frame and APS-C offerings, that they were going to offer some sort of new twist to things. We get the flip out screen, fine. We get this little compact size, fine. But then they gimp some of the video features. So let's go ahead and take a look at that next. So I don't know, when the announcement happened, I was actually at work still in the evening, and my brother messaged me, said, "Hey man, the A7C's out," and I said, "Okay." The first thing I asked him was, "Does it have 4K 60p?" And he said, "F no." I said, "F no, no 4K 60p." And I think I asked him, "How much is it?" And he said $17.98. And I said, "What the hell is Sony doing?" That's the first thing I went through my mind. What the hell is Sony doing? Okay, we're gonna scroll on down here. So I was like, I didn't believe him. So I said, I'm gonna check online. So I went online and I was scrolling through B&H and I was looking for the video specs and I was reading it carefully. I said, okay, there's gotta be 4K 60p here. I'm going and I don't see 4K 60p. I said, what are you doing, Sony? What are you doing? You've gotta be kidding me. And then we jump on over here to the A7. Look at the A7S III, folks. Look at this. I'm not even asking for 4K 120, ladies and gentlemen. I was asking for 4K 60. Make it happen. Make it happen. Use some of the newer codec options that you have available. That's the reason why I don't like this camera, because you already know the A7C Mark II is gonna have these features that we're missing. And it goes back to Sony's iterative model of making cameras one and another one to add new features, to add another one to add a little bit new features. And I really hate that. I really hate that. I don't know. Are you seeing it? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're being sucked into the whole small compact camera, flip out screen, which I'm going to say, I do like it. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to rent it out because it's one thing to talk about, another thing to rent it out, right? And try it out. But come on. I mean, everyone can see it. Am I delusional here? I would have really considered buying the camera, 4K 60p, if it would have had the codec options similar to the A7S III. This would have been on my radar to purchase, 100%. I might have actually considered not getting the A7S III, honestly. Maybe that was their concern. But if they had just 4K 60p with the new codecs, I would have got it. But that's the issue. That's what the A7C Mark II is going to look like. And they want you to buy this first gen product so that you can go ahead and they'll get the next one out soon. Well, there you go, folks. Those are my thoughts on this camera. I'm really not liking the direction Sony's going. I got another video planned in my head talking about their Sony cameras in general, their full frame line. And are they pulling a Canon? Are they pulling a Canon? Because right now, Canon, they're just dropping the goods. You can have whatever your opinion about it. I got a finalized video for the EOS R5. I sent it back already and everything. But Canon's taking a much more different approach so far than what Sony's doing with these upcoming models. We'll see what happens. Maybe they're saving all their stuff for the A7 IV. I imagine that they didn't do the 4K 60p in this model because it would have took out so much steam out of their A7 IV. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure A7 IV is going to roll out with some sort of 4K 60p with their new card slots and all that good stuff. That's bound to happen at this point. So I guess they didn't want to take the wins out of that camera by doing that with this particular A7C. But man, I would have went ahead and did a pre-order had it had that feature in there. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. What was it missing for you? But anyway, we all get to save a little bit of money, and that's going to do it for me, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, get subscribed, and check out my other content. Peace.